Welcome, baseball fans, back to Baseball Chat. We're so happy to have you again for our second episode. And we've got a lot to talk about this week. And you know what? Oh my God. Almost forgot about the trade deadline. Gotta give Joseph a call.
Benji, the trade deadline. I'm so excited.
Dude, I cannot wait. We've had some massive trades over the years being done at the deadline. And for those of you who don't know, I'll explain a little bit about what the deadline is. August 1st at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. That is the last day that any team can make a trade. Doesn't matter from beginning of the season. August 1st, 4 p.m. Eastern, that is the last day any team can make a trade. Can be someone is injured, they can make a trade for them. Could be someone for the future. You never know.
So let's jump in and talk about the current state of the Yankees. Right now, they're sitting in last place, unfortunately. And how many games back are they, Benji?
They are out of first place. They are now, I believe, 8.5 games back. Nope, just 8 games back. And of the wild card, they are only 2.5 games back.
The Orioles have moved into first place. And this weekend, the Yankees are going to be taking on the Orioles. And you know who's coming back?
Oh, I know it's coming back. I think I will let you announce who's going to be back Friday afternoon.
The captain, Aaron Judge, is coming back this Friday. Be there, be ready, because Aaron Judge is going to come in. He's going to come in hot. Stanton's going to hit right next to him. And they're going to destroy the Orioles and probably squish that 8-game deficit to probably like a 5-game. I mean, I don't know. Is the series a 4-game or a 3-game series?
Just a 3-game series. But with Judge coming back, this is the biggest 10-game slate of the Yankees because not only do they have Baltimore for 3, the next 3 they got Tampa and the Yankees right behind them for the wild card, and then after that, 4 games with our heated rivals, the Houston Astros.
Wow, exciting baseball is coming up. Wow. And Judge couldn't be back at a better time. You know, Aaron Judge is great, is wonderful. We all know what he brings, but you can't do it alone. What else do you think the Yankees need to improve upon?
I really think they definitely need to improve upon a left fielder. Have Stanton playing in left, who's DHing. You know, it doesn't work. I don't like Billy McKinney. I like Jake Bowers, but those two guys,
they're platoon guys.
Exactly. They're platoon. They're not meant to be in the starting lineup in the playoffs. Platoon guy is mainly meant he comes off the bench as a starter a night off. Maybe he goes 1 for 4, 2 for 4, gets a couple of hits, plays some good defense. Like he's just there. Hey, I'm here for a night. That's it.
What about on the infield?
With DJ LeMahieu at third, and Rizzo at first, I'm considering if I'm Brian Cashman, I'm considering trading Rizzo, putting LeMahieu at first, and getting a new third baseman.
So you think they need to improve at third base?
I think so. DJ has been struggling. Rizzo has been struggling. He went 4 for 4 once. He hit his first home run in 45 games. They need a good defensive first baseman. DJ can play first. He's been a little better recently offensively. So if they can move DJ over to first and have a third baseman, I'm not sure who.
And Donaldson is out. Donaldson is out.
Thank God. I say as a fan. As a fan, I say thank God. As a human being, I wish him good luck.
Here at Baseball Chat, we only wish the best health to all the players
in the league. Even I will say even the Astros and the Red Sox players.
That's for sure. We just don't want them to play in Major League Baseball, or at least on the Yankees, ever again.
Well, just Donaldson and another and a former Yankee who we have mentioned before, Aaron Hicks. He is also injured, so he will not be here this weekend.
You know what, Benji? Usually I say, Aaron Hicks, don't come back. I kind of want him to come back. That way he plays against the Yankees, and we just destroy him on the field.
I hope so, because, his defense is not the greatest.
That's a benefit for the Yankees if he comes back.
That would be Christmas coming early. coming in August. We're getting Christmas in July anyway. Judge is back, so we already have that.
Other areas of improvement, we need catching help.
I like Higashioka. He's more suited as a backup catcher. Ben Rortfeld, I don't know what to say about him. He's been injured for the majority of his time with the Yankees. They definitely need catching at this point.
So related to Higashioka, I was watching today the Subway Series game, Yankees Mets. I did not see the first game yesterday. So I go to my MLB TV, turn on the TV, I start watching, and it's Verlander against Herman. And I'm like, oh, that's nice. And the Yankees are losing. And then I get these notifications on my phone, Higashioka, bases loaded. That's weird. There's something wrong with the notifications from Score Mobile. They're telling me the bases are loaded with Higashioka. And I'm like, this is the wrong inning, too. This doesn't make any sense. And then I get more notifications. Yankees score more runs. I'm like, what do you mean Yankees are scoring more runs? What is happening? And I'm like, this is such an embarrassment for Score Mobile. Turns out it was an embarrassment for me. I was watching yesterday's game.
I was just about to comment this because I did watch. I caught yesterday's game. I'm like, wait. Once you said Verlander Herman, I'm like, wait a second. That was yesterday's game.
Anyways, the Yankees need pitching help, starting pitching help. Wouldn't you say, Benji?
Definitely, because look, Herman, he yesterday he didn't pitch badly. It's just he got beat by bloop hits for the most part, and the Yankees offense not doing anything. But also, I would say Clark Schmidt is another Jekyll and Hyde pitcher. You never know what you're going to get out of him. Severino is another Jekyll and Hyde pitcher. You don't know what you're going to get out of him. Rodon did have a good game today, but this was his first good game as a Yankee. And outside of Cole, there's no consistency with them. They're getting Nestor back in August, so that's going to be great. They need Nestor back. He might actually be back for the Houston series. I've been reading that.
Okay, that's pretty soon. That's encouraging. With the Yankees getting some key players back, starting pitcher, Aaron Judge, that definitely helps. Hopefully, they make some of these improvements. The Yankees are not the only team that are going to be making improvements and making trades. We already had our first trade today with the Dodgers in Cleveland. So, Benji, why don't you do the honors of telling everyone about this very special trade?
So basically, it was a one-for-one swap. The Cleveland Guardians traded Ahmad Rosario to the Dodgers for Noah Syndergaard. Very similar to kind of what the Yankees did last year with Bader and Montgomery, because Syndergaard is injured also. Dodgers are getting a shortstop that used to be, I think, he used to be a top two, top three prospect in MLB. Now he's kind of fallen off.
He's
And
27 years old. He's hitting 265, 3 home runs, 40 RBIs, 94 games he played so far with the Guardians. So, and he's playing on a 1 year, $7.8 million contract. Yeah, I mean, I guess the Dodgers needed an upgrade at the shortstop. Corey Seager is gone. He went to Texas. Big deal there. And Syndergaard, 1 and 4 with a 7.16 ERA and a whip of 1.45 in 12 starts. He struck out 38 batters and walked 9, a little over 55 innings.
well, for those fans who don't know what a whip is, it's walks and hits per innings pitched.
Yeah, thank you for explaining that. And then an ERA is an earned run average. Really important. Because honestly, when I look at a pitcher, I want to know how many runs he's given up on average. Tells you a lot about them. He's averaging a little bit over 7 runs that he's giving up per game.
And actually, not just you, the MLB voters decided years ago that wins weren't as important as ERA. And Felix Hernandez won the Cy Young Award with like a 2.32 ERA, but he only had 13 wins.
And that's possible when you're on a team that sucks because you can pitch 7 innings, give up like 1 to 2 runs, and then once you come out of the game, they put someone else in. That's the end of the game. If they give up a bunch of runs, so you're not going to get a win.
Basically, every Mets fan knows how that feels for Jacob DeGrom.
He was a
I
big
mean,
free agent signing, and now he is injured. He signed with the Texas Rangers. Uh, sad, sad situation over there because he's out for the entire season.
probably out for a little bit of next season. Also, I don't know how long it's going to take for Tommy John.
So, Benji, a really big trade that everyone was expecting to happen. We don't know where he would have ended up, but he's the most talked about trade prospect up until today. Shohei Ohtani, will not be traded. The Angels have decided they're going for it. They're 6.5 games out, right behind the Texas Rangers. Good luck catching them, though. It's going to be especially hard without Mike Trout. He's coming back mid-August. There are 4 games out of the wild card. When Mike Trout is there, you have the best player on the planet. And now Ohtani is doing hitting and pitching. So it's like another best player on the planet. So the Angels are going to be buyers. And you know what would be crazy, Benji? If they trade and try to get Soto, who is the next big trade prospect.
So here's the thing about that, because their owner, Art Marino, he does love to just throw money at big free agents and see what will stick. The thing about that, however, is that it hasn't worked once in the past 20 years.
Yeah, he's throwing the mud at the wall, and the mud is not sticking on the wall.
Not in the slightest. Like, because here's the thing, money, you can have two, three big name guys that are costing $1 billion. Because between Mike Trout, between Otani's contract next year, it's probably going to be about 500 million. If they do get Soto, I think his contract's like 150 mil, 200 mil. I have to double check his contract. But between three players, you're spending $1 billion. And then where's the rest of the money going?
Very good point. I have to talk about something here, and it's about Soto. We cannot continue this podcast without mentioning the fact that he turned down over $400 million.
Like I can't fathom being given basically a blank check. I mean, it wasn't blank; it was 400 million.
It's
But still,
guaranteed money.
yeah,
$400 million. Okay, how old is Soto?
he's 24, and when he turned it down, actually, I think he was 22.
I mean, I can't even. I don't even have to explain anything. I think we're just going to move forward on the fact that that might be the dumbest thing a person has ever done. Except you just told me, unrelated to baseball and soccer, that someone else turned down, I think it was over $700 million dollars.
Yep, his name was Kylian Mbappe. For all the soccer fans out there, he did have a hat trick in the finals this past year, and he turned down 700. Well, no, he would have made 700 million. The contract offer actually was 1.1 billion dollars,
Yeah. Okay.
and turned that down.
Well, definitely I could say in baseball, that was the dumbest decision to turn down $400 million.
I don't understand it, and
Soto, I hope you never come to the Yankees because we won't even be able to give you what you want, anyways, because clearly you turned down $400 million. I don't know what you're looking for because you're not worth anything more. And honestly, I think you're worth a lot less. That's my personal opinion on it.
I agree with you on that. He pulled a Judge move and turned down a big contract. The difference is, though, Judge followed it up by having the best season a hitter's had in the past 20 years, and the best season a hitter's had without steroids in like the past 50 years.
Judge
Yes.
had an offer for $400 million from the San Diego Padres, apparently, and he turned that down. But you know what? Why he did that, Soto? Let me tell you something, Soto. Let me um, educate you on something here. He turned that down because he had other offers. You
Exactly.
didn't
So
have other offers, okay? He turned down that money because he knew he was going to get $360 million from San Francisco or the New York Yankees. So he had those. You only had one offer because you were not a free agent, and that was from the Nationals, right? The Nationals, his
yeah,
team, right? But to
yeah.
keep him, right? Right?
No,
From the
yeah, he
Nationals.
got his offer from the Nationals.
So you
And he,
turned down guaranteed money, completely different situation. And with that, we are going to move on to the buyers and
Byers,
sellers. So we talked obviously about Otani and the Angels and how they are going to be buyers. And then we talked a little bit about Soto. Next time, maybe we won't talk about him.
we'll try not to bring him up too often.
Yeah, he's in my list of players that I don't like. So Benji created a list of buyers and sellers. Benji, take it away.
So I'm not going to go deep into each list, but I'll just say the teams, and I'll go a little bit over like what each team I believe needs right now. The buyers are the Braves, the Rays, the Orioles, the Blue Jays, the Yankees, the Twins, Brewers, Phillies, Reds, Red Sox, Astros, and Rangers. Those are
So
my
this is
buyers.
basically anyone who stands a chance of winning a championship or getting into the postseason is on your list. Is that correct?
Yes, I believe because the Braves, Orioles, the Rangers, and Brewers are all top of their divisions right now, and so are the Twins. They're all tops of their divisions. The only one that's not is the Dodgers, and the Dodgers don't really need to buy anyone else. They have their team set basically, and then the rest of the teams are, you know what, the Yankees and Blue Jays, they and Rays and Red Sox. That whole AL East, they're all close enough to each other that one of those teams is going to be out, and I really hope it's not the Yankees. Each one of those teams has a good chance of making it to the playoffs. Between the Brewers and the Reds in the NL Central, it's basically between those two. The with the Reds lost today, they are now they're game and a half behind the Brewers. So they are a good young team. They definitely have a chance to make it to the playoffs. So I think they'll be buyers. So will the Brewers. The Astros, obviously, they just need catcher. I'm not a huge fan of Martin Maldonado. They also need another outfielder and maybe one more starting pitcher. And the Rangers, they don't need so much, but I think even though they went out and got Chapman, they still want another bullpen piece. They still want another starter. The Yankees, we always said who we believe they need. The Twins, they're leading that NL Central right now, the AL Central right now, but still they need more help than that to keep it. And they did actually make a reliever swap earlier today. They traded Pablo Lopez for. I have to double check that really quickly, but they did make a quick trade today. So the Twins got Dylan Floro from the Miami Marlins for Jorge Lopez, and Jorge Lopez was an All-Star last year, and the Orioles decided to trade him to the Twins, and the Twins ended up trading Yenier Cano, who was an All-Star this year for Baltimore. And Dylan Floro, he's a good veteran. He did win a ring with the Dodgers in 2020, so he has some experience that the Twins desperately need.
So you
And
basically just went over a bunch of teams that are buying. They feel that they could win. You said that the Dodgers are, besides for that one trade that they made today, they're probably not going to do anything else. Although you never know, but like you said, their team is pretty much set, which means that maybe every other team that we haven't mentioned are selling.
so what I believe here's the teams I think are selling right now. It all depends what happens the next like 4 games that they have, but the Mets, Padres, Cardinals, Giants, Mariners, Tigers, White Sox, and D-backs, the Diamondbacks. I say the Mets are going to sell. They might trade Max Scherzer. They might trade David Robertson. They might trade Tommy Pham also, who actually I kind of do want the Yankees to get. Low key, he's a good outfielder.
I don't even understand how that happened to the Mets, but we can talk about them another time.
We'll talk about that a little bit. I have a kind of an idea of how it happened. We'll bring in some experts on the Mets for
Yes, we
that.
have a very special, devoted Met fan that one day you guys might meet, you might not meet. We'll have to find out. We'll have to see. Um, but not just the Mets. We're gonna have probably a Dodgers fan on here, and then maybe a St. Louis Cardinals fan. So give it a little different
But
perspective on what it's like to root for another team. Obviously, Benji and I are only familiar with the 27-time World Series champions.
Yankees, and we actually have. I just thought of someone now who's even more of a devoted fan than we are, who's been a fan of them for about I think 50 years at this point. We'll see if we can get him on the line.
Yeah, we'll see. We're gonna have
I
some very special Yankee fans on here
I,
too.
I think we
That we
know
can promise
him.
you. That we can promise you. So we got the buyers, we got the sellers, we know what's going on. But now we're gonna jump to a little segment called our wish list. And maybe there'll be an early Christmas in August for the Yankees or for us, Benji, because I'm wishing on a big star in the sky for a very special player, Mike Trout. Now, I know what you're thinking.
Yeah,
I know what everyone's thinking. We just talked about how the Angels are going for it, and that makes no sense. But that's why we call it a wish list, and a Yankee fan could dream.
I mean, yeah, for wishing, I'm wishing they get Otani. Um, but we know that's not going to happen.
I just
And
have
other,
to, and we'll talk about the best players in the game. That'll be another show. We'll talk all about who's the best and who's been the most consistent. But I have to just say for one moment, when you watch Mike Trout on TV and then when you watch him in person, it's completely different. This guy he's incredible. When I went to a Yankees Angels game in Anaheim, I was almost I never found myself almost cheering for the other team, but I wasn't really cheering for the Angels. I was cheering on Mike Trout. Like, when do you cheer on a player from the other team? Maybe if they're throwing a perfect game, you're like, okay, hats off. This guy, I'm talking about a regular game. This guy's unbelievable. I think he must have had 3 or 4 hits that game, and he made 2 unbelievable catches. And when you see the ball out of the sky and you see where Mike Trout is on the field, and you're like, there's no way he's going to get to that ball. And then he just does. And you're like, oh my God. I mean, your mind's blown because you're like, oh my God, that was such an amazing catch. But oh my God, that sucks for the Yankees because they really needed, that run to score. And you're just kind of back and forth. And the speed that this guy has, and the power, and it's unbelievable.
I
Anyways,
will
that's my top player that I wish for. How about you, Benji?
Ronald Acuna Jr. This guy, he has everything. I think right now Ronald Acuna is one of the most electric center fielders in the game. He has power, he has speed. He's already got, I think this year alone, he's already got like almost 50 stolen bases, which that's something we haven't seen in a long time. He hits for average, he hits for power, he has a chance to have a 40-40 season, which for those of you who don't know, it's a guy who has 40 stolen bases and 40 home runs. He's already got 48 stolen bases. He has a 328 batting average this year, 407 on base percentage. He gets on base. He hasn't won a gold glove yet, but he does play gold glove defense. He hasn't won an MVP yet, but I think this year will change that. Only 25 years old. I think if the Yankees can somehow, some way convince the Braves to trade Acuna, then they definitely should.
Well, I must say, Benji, that it almost sounds like my wish for Mike Trout. Very unrealistic.
It does. It does. I ain't gonna lie. I can't even do that in MLB The Show. There's no way.
I think that yours is probably a little bit more realistic than mine.
It's maybe because Trout does have, I think, 10 more years to go on his contract. So, and I don't see the Angels getting rid of him anytime soon. I
Wouldn't it
wish
be cool if
I,
maybe we'll get Mike Trout on here?
if we could. Oh my God, if we could get any old player, like any current player, any old player on here, that'd be
I
amazing.
mean, I don't know if everybody knows this, but Mike Trout is originally from the great state of, say
New
it,
Jersey.
Benji.
He's great state of New Jersey. He was born
Trout is
as
a Jersey boy. And you know
he
what?
was.
Great things come from Jersey. A lot of people trash Jersey all the time. And I'm not saying, especially as someone who's from there, that a lot of those things are not true because they are. But you know what else is true? Mike Trout is from Jersey, and good things come out of Jersey.
Hey, you know
Benji
what?
comes from Jersey,
Joseph
right?
comes from.
There you
Yep.
go.
But wait. And also, you know who else comes from Jersey? Our former captain. Grandparents do, actually.
Oh, his grandparents do. That's why people don't know it.
He was originally born in Kalamazoo, Michigan, but he did spend his summers in Pequannock, New Jersey.
See, a lot of people use New Jersey for a couple things. And this is not an episode about New Jersey. This relates back to the Yankees. I had to do this work study program in high school. I worked side by side with a painter, and the painter said, "Meet me at this address." So I pull up to Alpine, New Jersey, and for those who don't know, it's a very wealthy area. The houses are very large, the estates are big, and I pull up. It's Chris Rock's house, the comedian Chris Rock. So
Ac-
I know what you were expecting. Where's the baseball player? Hold on, we'll get there. So I'm out by the truck. There's some gardeners over there. You know, Jersey's known for their lawns. It's the Garden State. The gardener tells me, you know, Cece lives down the street. And I'm like, you're joking. And he goes, no, I'm doing his house next. Cece Sabathia lived down the street. And let me tell you, that was a big house. Great things come from Jersey. Well, everyone, that is our show on the trade deadline. We're going to chat with you next time on what happens after the trade deadline.
We will also be discussing Judge's immediate impact on the Yankees, and hopefully our wishes come true.